Hi, good morning, everyone. It's so good to be back. My name is Jen, and this is Pretty Little Garden. Welcome if you're new. I'm just going to take you around my August garden today. It's been a super busy month in my household, and things are just kind of getting back into a routine, a consistent routine. We took my two older sons to college this past weekend. It was back-to-back college move-ins. We took my older son, Aidan. Actually, we took my middle son, Everett, first. We drove to Connecticut on Friday morning, and he moved into his freshman college dorm. And that was exciting, and I'm super proud of him. Hi, Everett, if you're watching. I don't know if he'll be watching, but he might watch. I'm not sure. And Aidan, so we went to Connecticut, came back Saturday, and Friday to Saturday, and then drove to Pittsburgh with my oldest son, Aidan. Actually, he drove, which was very helpful because we had a lot of driving the day before. So we drove down together to Pittsburgh, and he's a junior this year and moved into a new kind of like an apartment on campus, which was really nice, beautiful views. Um, I think he's going to have a great experience in that little apartment suite that he has with his roommate. And he got all settled in. And then this morning, my youngest son, Tyler, he is a junior in high school. So it was his first day of school today. So off he went. And here I am. Kind of a weird feeling, an empty house once again. So I'm adjusting, just like many of you probably can relate to that. So I'm just out here this morning. I just said goodbye to my husband, just said goodbye to Tyler, and I want to film some August garden. Lots of things have bloomed this month, and there's lots of things that are looking particularly beautiful that I'd love to share with you. So you're always invited, so why don't you come along and join me today in my August garden. We're going to start here in the backyard like I normally do and show you a little glimpse of my side cottage garden, what everything is looking like currently. My blue cushion English lavender, I trimmed that back just about a week ago, and I think it'll do better. It's kind of looking a little rough this year, as you can see. A little bit woody, not as green, but I think trimming it back will help it out a bit. These are my Shasta daisies, which I don't think they were supposed to bloom this year because I just planted these from seed this year, but I do have a couple that are coming up and look like they are going to bloom. So I'll be excited to see that. This is a conga line sedum, and I got this for free last year. Isn't it pretty? It blooms like a creamy sort of cranberry colored bloom that comes off of that this time of year, which is really beautiful. A very spent looking blue boy bachelor's button. You can see everything I have here. My coneflowers, they're kind of on their way out as well. You can see there's a couple new ones that have popped up. See, there's a fresher one back in here. But for the most part, they are on their way out and going to become good food for the birds. Really beautiful. Little gold star Rebecca had a beautiful show. I really, really loved the salvia. It was rockin' playing the blue salvia here. Really beautiful. And because it's early in the morning, there's not too many pollinators on it just yet. Oh, I see a little bumble. But typically, probably in another hour or so, you will see this thing would be covered with bees, almost to the point where I could barely clip anything from it because it was just so covered all the time. Oh, there's another little guy. Is that? Oh, this guy might be sleeping over here on this side. Yeah, it looks like we've got a sleeping bumble. Oh, all of a sudden, here they all are. There's another one, too. You can see my Clematis Haldane. It sort of sent out another little flush, but for the most part, it is done blooming. That one's pretty much done. I have some beautiful celosia here, two types, and I love this color here. Isn't this beautiful? I think this is so pretty for the fall too. See if I can find the name. That one's called New Look. I see I have my tag kind of hidden back in there. See it right in there? New Look. And I did have a tag on these here, but it popped out of the ground, so I don't know what happened to it. Although I'm not really a fan of this one here. I love the New Look so much better. And I've got two Gaillardia here. One of them is called Arizona. I'll put the name up, Arizona. And the other one I think is called Apricot. I'll put the names up. Really pretty. The spirea that reseeded itself. You can see back in here my snapdragons. They were gorgeous. I wasn't good at cutting them. I did clip them for a bouquet that I made recently. But other than that, they've kind of just flopped over to the side. So I haven't really been cutting on those. And these were a mixture of flowers. I think it was called Grandmother's Mix or something like that. I'll put the name up. And those have just been not flowering too much. A lot of green going on in that container there. Let's take a walk into the back and see what's going on. Just stepping into the backyard here. You can see the Generous Gardener Climbing Rose. Look at the other side here. I do have a really beautiful bloom that's just kind of nodding gently there. Isn't that beautiful? The Generous Gardener Climbing Rose by David Austin. This one on this side seems a bit stronger, and I had a lot of canes that came up. And I actually just tied them down last night because, oh my goodness, they were so out of control. They were just like, and we had kind of a windy night last night, so you can see where I've placed some zip ties and kind of secured it to the structure because I didn't want to have everything whipping all around. And I actually came over here. There were so many long ones, even in the back. I have a feeling this is going to be like a beast of a plant here. So I just secured everything as best I could. And we'll see how it does. Oh, look at that. Beautiful new bloom is beginning. I'm looking to rework this bed a bit this fall. I think I'm going to take out those Stella de Oro daylilies. I do have a couple of hydrangeas placed there. I don't think they're going to stay there. I was just kind of playing around with things to see how I liked it. Definitely needs a little bit of reworking here. Those Stella de Oro daylilies, they're not working there anymore. They're getting a bit too much shade, and I have so many of them around that I'm ready for a little change with those. So, and also there's a spirea back in here that I might take out. That third one back in there, right here, this is Gold Flame spirea. That one's kind of woody and not looking as nice. So I think I might take that one out and just rework this bed a bit. This little lime hydrangea, that's looking beautiful. The sun is just hitting these panicles and they're starting to get a little bit of a pink tone to them. I don't know if that's picking it up on camera. I'm just coming around the corner here. You can see I have some peonies here that need to be cut down. You can see what happens to the peonies. The powdery mildew, it never fails. I always get it on my peonies. So I'll be cutting those back. And I did put a new clump of some early bird catnip there. And that's filling out quite nicely. And I planted some serendipity allium. Isn't that beautiful? Really love that. I planted a few of them. I had bought 3. And this is a perennial. and this is the time of year that it blooms, and I really needed things in my garden that started blooming late summer, and this was a perfect choice. So I really like how that's looking. I never realized how often I hear a train until I started recording YouTube videos. Do you hear the train in the background? It's constant, actually. I never really noticed it. Okay, this is my pink or blue pulmonaria lungwort. Those are establishing pretty well. I haven't been too happy with these blue muffin viburnum from Proven Winners. I don't know. I think they definitely need some extra water that I have not been giving them. That could possibly be the problem. I'm just not really too thrilled by them. Well, they're starting to change color a bit. I do like that. That would be pretty if it turned like that reddish color. They just always kind of looked like they needed a little bit more water to me this year, and I'm sure the birch tree takes up quite a bit of water. I still have a little bit of a pot of some pansies and violas here, believe it or not. It's about 7:30 this morning. The sun is just coming up. It is Tuesday, August 26th. This is another little line. Looking pretty good. I think I told you this is a fairly new transplant, and I've got a rose of Sharon back there that hasn't done a darn thing. It's just kind of hanging out, looking like it needs something. A little birdhouse. Dark Side of the Moon Astilbe that has bloomed out. Neon Flash Spirea. You can see it's pushing through with some new buds mixed with the old. My window boxes are looking pretty good. I have some vinca vine here. There is an osteospermum called Bright Lights. Isn't that pretty? This is Bright Lights Osteospermum by Proven Winners. There's a wave petunia back in there called Easy Wave Rose Fusion. And there's also Super Bell's Lemon Chiffon Calibrachoa by Proven Winners. And been pretty good here. Can't complain. I like the osteospermum as the kind of the thriller, although the rose chiffon kind of came up to meet its height. But I loved the look of that osteospermum. Really beautiful. The white flower really popped, especially in the evening hours. And you can really get a overhead view of this Neon Flash Spirea, and you see all those new pink blooms trying to make their way to the top here. Let's walk around the corner here. I'm right on the edge of this retaining wall, so I got to be careful. And here we are, right around the corner of the shed. Here's my bloomstruck, Endless Summer Bloomstruck. Those really did well this year. You can see here's a new bloom here, that bright pink color. They really are starting to take off in this area. And this is really funny. This is one of my containers, and in my last video, I thought I had planted, because I normally do this, a little bit of a ornamental grass in here. as one of my thrillers, and I'm realizing, no, I didn't do that in this container. What I think this is bird seed that got into my container, and I think I'm going to have some corn here, guys. I don't know, this seed, sprouted, and I just kept letting it go. Is this corn? I don't know, but I thought it would look nice for the fall, so I just kind of left it as a thriller in this container. And it's underplanted by some Blue Moon Punch Calibrachoa from Proven Winners on the right there. That's a really nice annual in a container. I really enjoyed that. And the Artist Blue Azuratum, Vinkavine. We'll come down and take a better look here. You can see the beautiful color of that Azuratum. It really does make me laugh that I have corn coming up in my container here. You gotta laugh at yourself sometimes. Here are the heuchera that I've planted earlier on in the summer. I divided these two heuchera. Actually, this is a heucherella that I divided, and this is a Primo Peachberry Ice that I put in the ground. So those are just still getting established. This is kind of my Lizomachia, Creeping Jenny, and Vinkavine little village here that I have little pieces going on here that I can just pull from if I need to. I have to figure out where I'm putting these arborvitae here. There's some more weeds in here. This is American Pillar arborvitae. I got these for a very good price at a nursery that was closing over the summer here. So I got to kind of figure out where I want to put those. And this is an heirloom rose, Summer Romance, just planted. And I've got a really beautiful bloom coming up there. And look at that healthy foliage there. That looks gorgeous. The rest of the rose, it is being eaten by something, you can see there. But just new to me, this rose, just getting started. Double play candy corn spirea. Look at the color on that spirea. I just love it. I'm excited to see how this will do. Really pretty. Just kind of give you a shot of the backyard here. You can see there's a little hydrangea there. That's just like a grocery store hydrangea. Right here I have Ouija Green Giants that have grown quite a bit. And I still have some plants that I need to plant in the back there. And of course Lucy, who always joins me in the garden. She likes my garden tours. She's a big fan. Here's my little patch of the cat's pajama nepeta. That seems to be happy. And I think it gets quite a bit of water here just from the way things drain in this one particular section of my garden. So I think that will do well. My Crimson Century Norway maple tree that I've talked about before. You can see having some issues, and you can also see behind it. I also have an ivory halo red twigged dogwood that was planted at the same time as these on either side of it, and you can see it's not happy in that spot either. Something with the drainage. We tried to lift it up with some topsoil this year, kind of build up that area, but still not really loving the way my plants are looking in that area. Let's come over here and take a look at Earth Angel. This is another heirloom rose that I just planted this very late spring, early summer. Also being eaten by something, but the new growth coming up looks beautiful. And I did have a bloom recently, but I don't see any blooms at this time. And you can see I put another, this is Crimson Cutie Barberry, and that's starting to kind of get a more of a crimson color to it. And I did put another double play candy corn spirea there, just as a nice contrast next to the red. Thought it looked good next to the Vanderwolf pine as well. Really soft needles on that pine tree. You can see it's a really beautiful tree. These are some of my containers. Now, they have fallen over several times, so I have had to take several of these branches out. I really do enjoy this annual flower, though. This is the Luscious Royale Cosmo Lantana from Proven Winners. I really think it looks beautiful in a container. It loves sun. The color is bright and beautiful. Definitely like that one. And I also have the Supertunia Vivid Orchid Petunia from Proven Winners on this other side. That also did really well. I didn't fertilize as much as I should have. I ran out of, I was using the Miracle Grow fertilizer. That's what I had on hand this summer for my annuals, and then I ended up running out and I never restocked. So this last month has been kind of spotty with my fertilization. And I have to say, I think I do like the Proven Winners water-soluble fertilizer better. I just noticed, more of a reaction from the annuals with that Proven Winners water-soluble fertilizer. So I'll probably be buying that, next summer. I just had some of I think when I went to buy it on Amazon, it wasn't available. So I went with the Miracle Grow, but I think I do like the Proven Winners a little bit better, just from my experience. So you can see I have different areas here that kind of broke apart. I do have my Gladiator Allium still there. I didn't want to take it down. I didn't spray paint it either. I just kind of left it, but really pretty. Okay, this here, oh my goodness. Look at this. Look at this bloom. This is a very awesome. Lucy's barking at something in the pool. What do you see? Is it a leaf? What is it? What is it? Let's go take a look. Oh yeah, it's just a leaf, Lou. Just a leaf. Although there is something that looks like a piece of plastic or something down there. We'll have to get some of that stuff out. We're on the tail end of our pool season, aren't we? I'll turn on that vacuum today. Gotta get some of this stuff out of the pool. I love this time of year. I absolutely love August. It's so relaxing to me. And it's really not about, my kids always say, oh, it's because we go back to school. That's really not it. I do like getting back into a routine, but I love the August sky. I love how the clouds are lower in the sky. I love how it's not as hot and humid, at least here in Western New York. It starts to kind of mellow out a bit. And I just love how the sun casts light on things this time of year. It starts to feel a little more relaxed, not as harsh, more golden, the position of the sun in the sky. And everything is just more relaxed, and I think it makes me more relaxed, and I just really enjoy this time of year. Really, August, September, October, I can find beautiful things about every season, to be quite honest, because I'm that type of a person. I just really love the change in the seasons, and I can find beauty in every season. But I especially do love August, at least in recent years. So this is a beautiful, berry, awesome, summerific hardy hibiscus from Proven Winners, and you can see just how big. I mean, that is amazing. Here's my hand for scale, and just how beautiful that is. And I do like, now these blooms only last a day, which is pretty amazing. So you can kind of come in here, you can see there's a bloom that's older, and if you pluck it gently off, look at that beautiful chartreuse limey green. I don't even know what you call that. That remains after you pluck it. Now that eventually does turn brown, but it just kind of is another layer of beauty to this plant. Let's see if we can find another one. There's lots of new ones opening up today. It's supposed to be a beautiful day in the 70s, I think. Oh my gosh, this plant is doing really well. Covered in blooms. Here's another one that I can pluck off here. Look at that. Isn't it beautiful? It's the little things, you guys. It truly is the little things that are amazing. Here's another one. Oop. Just gorgeous. And I love the ornamental grasses this time of year. This is a Miscanthus gracilinus grass, and they get really big and beautiful this time of year. And here is another container. You can see that Calibrachoa, the Proven Winners Blue Moon Punch, did really well in this container. And I really liked this combination with the Azuratum. And you can see how this Calibrachoa, it really trailed down with the Vinca vine and the Artist Blue Azuratum. I do have the Curly Whirly Grass in there, but it might be getting lost a bit in the back here. But you can see some Curly Whirlies. Really beautiful. This is another heirloom rose that I planted in late spring, and I will put the name up because I always forget it, but it's just getting established. It's a beautiful pink rose. It's called like Elegance Extravaganza, something like that. And coming up to another hardy hibiscus, summerific hardy hibiscus. This one is not as, it's just starting. It was a little bit later taking off compared to the Berry Awesome, but still, just as beautiful. You can see a little bit different shade of bloom. This is called Perfect Storm. And you can see there's buds everywhere waiting to open. So this should be putting on just as beautiful of a show as the Berry Awesome, but it's just a little bit later. Everything's happening just a little bit later there. All right, let's just keep going. Another one of my containers. This one also got knocked over quite a bit. I think, sometimes too, my containers tend to get top heavy, and see, this one you can tell has been knocked over a couple times. Oh yeah, see, there's a lot of things that are just bent. But anyways, I was happy with that. I just have an ornamental grass, just that I plucked from my front yard as a thriller there. A little bit spotty right now just because it's been knocked over so many times. I have my Endless Summer Original hydrangeas here. These really, I don't think they're in the right spot. They're getting too much sun, but that's just the fact that's happening right now. You can see there's a new bloom coming up there. This here, quick fire fab. I was just kind of playing around with positioning of different plants that I still have yet to get into the ground before our first frost. So I just have kind of different things, scattered about just to see what they look like in different areas. All right, let's turn on the vacuum while we're back here. There we go. Let me show you Autumn Joy. Look at that beautiful Autumn Joy sedum. Let me get out of the way here. I think in my last video they were all lime green, and now you can see they're starting to dust up with a little rose color. Oh, I just noticed she's been climbing under the fence in the back corner. Little stinker that she is. Hey, Lucy. And this is our end of summer back patio. We've had a really nice summer. Lots of fun family things going on. Busy, busy, busy as always, but always lots of fun. Northern gold forsythia, looking anything but gold at this time of year. It's all green. Their show comes in the spring of a beautiful yellow color. And Jack Frost heartleaf brunnera. A little bit of a weed in there as well. Limelight hydrangea. Candy mint crabapple tree. I think she sees a cat. Actually, it's our neighbor's cat. That kind of just travels from yard to yard. Lucy's arch nemesis. Okay, Luce. Blue mouse ears hosta. That has finished blooming, and they'll start to take on a yellow color as the temperatures start to decrease. Blue. Okay. And Stella de Oro daylily. Some more spirea. Blondie winter creeper. Euonymus. What are you doing? Okay, come here. You can see just how golden everything starts to look this time of year. Don't you just love a good morning garden walk? I know I do. I'm just coming up on my favorite flower of the season. This is my little patch of ballerina zinnia. Oh my. Oh, I think I have to walk around to the other side because it's going to catch my shadow here. Let me just walk around to the other side. And walk up, right up here to the patio. Oh my goodness. Isn't this zinnia absolutely beautiful? And it's called ballerina zinnia, but there's different colors and different petals. really, I have loved this zinnia. I just cut a bouquet for my niece, Ella. And I know she had it in her bedroom for a little while on her vanity. Look at how beautiful. You know, and I combined it with some other things. I would like to get better at flower arranging. It's fun to play around. It's fun to gift people flowers as well. Zinnias are so easy to grow. If you have never grown zinnias before, I mean, give them a try. They're so easy. I just direct sow them. That seems to work okay for me. And I really like this little spot that I chose to plant these zinnia here. And they're doing so well and they look so healthy. I should come and cut a bunch of them so that I can get them to cut and come again, because they are a cut and come again flower, which means that if you cut them, they will grow new flowers in that same season, which is great. And you can just get more and more flowers. I also tried a technique. I don't know if it's really a fancy technique, but when you first plant your seeds, when they get to be about 4 to 6 inches tall, the initial leaf, which is called the cotyledon leaf, when you have 2 sets of true leaves, you can clip them back, and that way you get more blooms and it branches off in 2 different directions, and you can get, you know, multiple stems with more blooms on your little patch of flowers. So I did do that technique as well earlier on in the season, but just so happy with the ballerina zinnia. I'll put the name on the screen of where I purchased the seeds from, but definitely a #1 zinnia in my book. And I am new to zinnias just in the last couple of years, but I definitely love this variety. It's just gorgeous. And I'm also really loving this coleus this year. This is called Marble, and it's not a proven winners or anything like that. It's just I found it at my local nursery. I noticed that it tolerated sun, and so that's what drew me to it. And it really has done well as long as it stays watered. It has a really pretty speckled leaf, and I just really have loved it this year. It looks really beautiful. Let's see, I'll show you. This is my raised garden bed, which I have a bunch of different kinds of zinnias that are just starting to bloom, as well as some teddy bear dwarf sunflowers. So let's see, right over here I've got ballerina zinnia on this side here, a little patch right here. Right along back here, I do have, I think these are also some ballerina zinnia. And then they transition into Bennery's Giant Lime. And I do have some Bennery's Giant White on the other side. And let me come around. I did have some, just some zinnias. And then I just want to show you in the middle, I have the Botanical Interest Dwarf Teddy Bear Sunflower, which I really am liking. I had a first bloom the other day, and I cut it for Ella's bouquet for her little arrangement. But here you can see this one is starting to open up, and those were from Botanical Interest. They are going to be so sweet when they pop up. I really like how they're looking. Really beautiful. Okay, I think I am running out of battery space. I might have to give you a front yard garden tour in a separate video. But here, let's just come around. I'll show you my tomatoes. Doing pretty good. I think I was watering them a bit too much. So you can see I've got some yellowed leaves in certain areas. It's really hard for me to tell when my tomato plant needs water and when it doesn't, especially when you have really hot weather. I, start to water them more often when I have really hot weather, but I realize that that's not always good. I don't know. I struggle with that. Anyway, these are my everlasting strawberries. I just ate a bunch off of them last night, so they're just starting to produce more, but they've been pretty good. I've been happy with them. I planted this later too, but the tomatoes that I have grown, just so you know, are Celebrity, which are a determinate tomato, Roma, and I think I have like a cherry tomato as well. Let's see. This is a celebrity. You can see they're starting to, I'm hoping for a harvest the end of September. I really am cutting it close here with my tomatoes. I planted them later, but better late than never. I want to continually learn and plant new things and just have fun in my garden. So I was a little late, but I got them started. Oh, okay, you can see there's a lot of tomatoes starting here. This is also this might be, let me check and see which one this is. Let's see. This might be the cherry one. Yeah, this is the red cherry tomato. See, I planted them mid-July, which is typically not what you do in my zone, but sometimes, guys, you can't be perfect, and it's better to plant and learn sometimes than to say, oh, I'm too late, this isn't right, so I can't do it. Just give it a try. I mean, these tomato plants, they were like 75 cents. I think they were for like a 6-pack. So how could I resist that? I mean, just put them in the ground and see what happens, right? Got some leaves I got to trim off of that one there, but I'm excited about it. Okay, let's take a look at my back patio pots here. These are doing well. The Blue Moon Punch. This is a osteospermum called Pink Magic. That's not really too many fresh blooms there. There's a couple here. That's called Pink Magic. And Supertunia Jazzberry from Proven Winners. I really do like that plant. Really beautiful. And this clematis, it blooms continuously. It always has some type of a bloom open. I wish I could remember the name. I don't have the tag for this one, but it's a beautiful white clematis. And I also have another osteospermum. I want to say this is Amethyst Zion osteospermum. I'll put the name up. But look at the Blue Moon Punch, guys. Really a container-friendly Calibrachoa. Isn't that gorgeous? Just keep it watered and fertilized. Like I said, I wasn't as good at the fertilizer in August, but look how beautiful it's still looking. Definitely keep it watered and in sun. And just come over here and show you my other container with the exact same thing. This one I think is, oh no, they're both about the same fullness, I would say, but really, really pretty. And some more Serendipity Allium. And we'll just finish up here with my back patio planters. I usually always put a couple of different coleus in here with a trailer. This is the Golden Dreams coleus, Proven Winners. Really beautiful. How big that is. And I don't know the name of this coleus. This was just from a local nursery, but it has also been doing well. It has a beautiful, beautiful leaf there. I do have some asparagus fern in there that's kind of gotten lost, and I did have a Reiger begonia, Netja Pink, Netja Reiger begonia. Let's see if we can find it. It really got lost in here, got buried. Oh, I see it. It's in there somewhere. Not really blooming, but you can see. Maybe we'll find a little bit more on this one here. Look at the limelight hydrangea. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Look at those panicles, guys. Humongous. I like this guy over here. See, this guy's just kind of like hanging out. hanging out like, hey, I'm here. Hey, I'm here. Woo! Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. And I just also have some perennial geraniums here. This one is called Bloody Cranesbill. Just planted last fall. So that's just getting established. That's more of a little bit of a pink bloom. And then this one is called Max Frey or Max Free. And that one has more of a darker bloom to it. That one is also the Bloody Cranesbill. And some more early bird catmint that I divided from this little patch over here, where I have my privet and another little lime, not a little lime, that's a lime light, but I just have this patch of early bird catmint that I kind of took little clumps from. This was a winter sown poppy. It was blooming a little bit earlier on in the season, but now it's just kind of green, not doing much. It probably maybe needs to be put more in the sun.